Thank you. Well, hello. I'm Kazu Ogawa, and welcome to the first ever episode of Pushing the Envelope. We're making history here. Two $60 mics, two old iPhone 5Cs, one iPhone 11 I'm using to record right now, a free editing software in my living room, super low budget. So if you haven't heard this spiel yet, Pushing the Envelope is a talk show where I interview young professionals working in various industries that are all my friends now to find out what their job is, how they got it, and to discuss what envelope they want to push for in their industry. And all that intercut with various segments, games, short films, comedy sketches, etc. This is season 1. Every episode is going to cover a different industry and start with a monologue like this one. It could be topical jokes or one topic I'm thinking about at this very moment. Then I'll introduce the industry I'm covering in the episode and go into the show. And I'm going to put this laughing track on to make you think my jokes are funny, even if you think they're not funny at all. So to kick off my first monologue ever, here's a new segment called What's on Your Mind, Kazu? What's on my mind? I'll tell you what's on my mind. With this show premiering tonight, I'm thinking about Asian representation in entertainment. The big reason why I started this show. But honestly, I think it's become a bit of a cliche to say I want more representation of blank because I'm blank, whatever that means to you. Of course, everyone wants to feel represented in their own environment, whether it be in media or in the workplace. Everyone should have that, but I believe that it's really important to know why and how. Why do you want more representation? What area specifically affects you and how can you actually change that? If not, it becomes way too broad. For me, it's specifically about beauty standards and social norms of Asian males that directly affected me in my social life growing up. And I believe that a big part in that is due to portrayals of Asian males in mainstream media. Let me ask you this. How many Asian characters in TV or film can you name that aren't samurais, ninjas, kung fu masters, or the nerd? Just name a show or film that has an attractive Asian male lead living in a normal world amongst whites, blacks, Latinx, all the above. Take a moment to think about it. Go ahead. Pause the video if you need. Sure, Steven Yeun. Anyone else? I love Crazy Rich Asians, but still an all-Asian cast. Shang-Chi, Snake Eyes, still pretty Asian portrayals. We've had some big wins recently, especially with Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I'm ashamed to admit I literally just watched. Please don't hate me. And please don't get me wrong, I'm in no way discrediting the work and progress that's been made so far. But the only problem I have with what's out there is that usually the cast is all Asian surrounding this male lead. And even if they are portrayed as attractive, a lot of the time they go back to their home country with, of course, other Asians, like Henry Golding in Snake Eyes, for example. This may seem superficial, but for me, this directly affects my life. There is just nothing that accurately depicts me, an Asian man growing up in Western society with people from all backgrounds. Though for me it was pretty white. But again, this is from my particular perspective, and I'm always proud to be Asian, but I noticed that growing up as a minority, I would often avoid being in an Asian group of friends, if there even was one, because I didn't want to be considered as just one of the Asians. And the same idea applies here in media. To me, when these pieces that are big wins for the Asian community come out, they suddenly become an Asian thing or that Asian movie. People who aren't Asian tend to dissociate even slightly because it's just not as personal to them. And I get it. I think sometimes there's a value in pushing issues just by normalizing. For me, that's normalizing an attractive Asian man in a normal, diverse world. That's what's on my mind. Does that make sense? Well, we got a great show for you tonight. We'll be back with my friends Jackson and Juan to tell us about working in the education and social work fields. Stay right there.